Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Feely, also known as Alex,
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
What is it? Are the birds? What happened, Mischief? What happened? Did you see Birdie stealing the plums again? That gets you really upset, doesn't it? Oh, you poor little girl. You're such a good guard dog. Or warg. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Well, I have an idea. I have an idea to help make you feel all better. Yeah, I do. I have an idea to help make you feel all better about it.
We are very fortunate this year to have a plum tree that is producing a lot of plums. But unfortunately, for Mischief and for us, the birds keep stealing them no matter what we do. And if they don't steal them, they peck holes in them and they fall to the ground to rot. And Mischief is very upset because she thinks that all those ones that have fallen are because she didn't do her job right and that they're going to get wasted. So, we're going to do something to make you feel better, huh, my love? I'm going to show her that none of them are wasted and we'll find a way to use them, huh? If you didn't know, Mischief is an Australian Shepherd. She's a herding dog, so they're also guard dogs, so it's in her blood to be very protective of things like that. Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, along with the help of Mischief, who's in the kitchen with me, I'm going to show you one of the dishes that you can make with plums. Now, Tolkien never specifically mentions the word plum, and I know this because I was able to head over to the Digital Tolkien Project, which is a wonderful resource, and do a word search to see if in any of Tolkien's writing he ever mentioned the word plum, and he didn't. But we do know that there is a section of the Shire called Appledore where there was a beautiful apple orchard and hobbits would go and pick apple delights, and that makes sense to me because apples are indigenous to that part of the world. And plums and stone fruit, while they may not be specifically mentioned with regards to hobbits, it's safe to say that hobbits would have cultivated them if they had the chance. And perhaps they did, and Tolkien just didn't mention it. But when you have a bumper crop, like we are so blessed to have by our age-old plum tree this year, one of the things that you end up looking for is different ways you can eat the plums or the fruit rather than just eating it raw. Or in this case, how can you salvage damaged fruit? You could make baked goods, you can make preserves, you can can them, and today I'm going to try a different recipe that I've never tried before and make a plum sauce. So a plum sauce is something that is both sweet and savory, and hopefully it has a little kick. And you can use it in stir fries, on meats, as a dipping sauce, any way that you want. And to me, while I do think that hobbits would try it, it feels much more like a dwarven food. So I almost feel like this is something that hobbits maybe would have made to bring to Bree to trade with passing dwarves. Something about the stout spiciness of it just screams dwarf to me. So let's see how it turns out. Here is a mixture of plums that have fallen off the tree and are ready to be eaten, and ones that don't look quite as good for human consumption. See, they've got little holes. So my plan is to chop them up and use whatever bits I can. The first step, of course, is going to be to sort through my plums and to wash them off and then chop them up into little bits. Some of these have definitely seen better days, and I'll just have to see what they look like on the inside. If they're not any good, I'll give them to the worms.
What do you think, my love? Would this make you happy?
I'm gonna start with this one, which is a nice whole, albeit little plum, and just slice around the pit, give it a twist. Now the pit's in 1/2, but you do want to be careful about pits, discarding them, because they contain levels of toxins like arsenic. Since that plum was so small, I only cut it into quarters, but for a bigger plum like this, I might need to cut it into 6 pieces instead. Oh. I think that bit's just, yeah, interesting colors. I think that bit's starting to get a little bruised. Might have been from when it fell from the tree, when the bird was trying to eat it, or when the wind knocked it off. So these bigger ones I'm going to cut into smaller pieces. Okay, let's try a yucky one. This one's pretty freaking yucky. Let's see what this is like. Huh. Interesting. It's discolored, but the flesh is still pretty firm, so I think it's still okay, and that's part of why I wanted to do this recipe, is I can, it's going to be cooked. Everything's going to be cooked, so hopefully that will very successfully kill any bacteria. This one's a good example because it just has this little peck out of it, so what I'm going to do is cut off that section. I gave it a wide berth. Set that to the side, and then work around it. You may remember from one of my videos I looked into making plum wine, and I found this recipe by this lady who said to keep the pits in because they add a wonderful sweet flavor, and I don't know if that was a joke or not, but I wrote a comment on her blog saying, I hope not that sweet flavor is from the arsenic. Well, I'm glad I didn't keep the camera rolling the whole time because it did turn out to be quite a lengthy process, but let me show you what I have. As you can see, the pile of usable bits is far bigger than the icky stuff. These ones just looked way too orcish. I didn't even try. And if there were any questionable bits at all, like, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's just a bruise, but just in case, like, that kind of looks like maybe a bug got in there. Those will all go to the worms, or the ones that look okay. If it's safe for chickens to eat, I'll feed them to the chickens. I always have to look stuff up before I give it to them. But yeah, this is a decent amount of plums. Here's my hand for size comparison. We're good to go.
Yeah, I know I'm working on it, honey. I'm getting all the plums ready for the plum sauce. Yeah, I'm not sure if you like it though.
Next, you add 1/2 cup of lightly packed brown sugar. And I'm going to reuse that measuring cup and put in 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. Adding some acid. And then we're also going to add 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Now I'm going to, one recipe says you can add the garlic whole. I'm gonna err on the side of caution and chop it up a little bit. This is, I think, 7 cloves. One recipe said to use like 2, another recipe said to use 6. I really love garlic, and so does everyone in my household, in our Hobbit hole here, so I erred on the side of more is more. Because when it comes to garlic, I'm one of those people who I just can't get enough of it. Boy, the kitchen smells kind of funny now with all these different aromas.
We'll go play just a minute, just a minute.
Next, it's time to add some freshly grated ginger. It says to have it really finely shredded, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this thing. I think it's called like a microplane or something like that. And shred and shred and shred until I get 3 tablespoons. The first step is to use some sort of grater and just peel the skin off of your ginger. I don't think there's any danger in consuming it, it's just tough and chewy. So you only really want to skin the part that you think you're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep that to the side. Our chickens can eat that if they want it. It's actually really healthful for them. And now I'm going to start using this thing. You just want to be careful to not get your fingers caught in it. Oh wow, this is going to take forever to get 3 tablespoons. This is like zesting. Maybe I need to rethink this. Right, I'm actually going to try the really small part on the grater. Oh. Just watch your fingers. This is just like getting all mashed. Guess it's kind of doing the same thing as the microplane. Huh. Yeah, that didn't... I mean, it may have been faster, but it pretty much accomplished the same thing as microplaning, and then now it's all stuck on it.
Yes, you do such a good job chasing birdies. Yes, you do such a good job, Missy.
So I just looked at the recipe again. It actually just says freshly grated gingers, not finely. So, like I always joke, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. I can still use what I just like basically pureed. But let's try this thing. I think that's more in line with what the recipe was looking for. Wow. It's so like woody and stringy.
I know, it's so weird. Thank you for your commentary. Wow, this is strange.
Huh. I'm just gonna put in there what I have. Have you been giving a running commentary? Do you think you want ginger? Don't think you do. Yeah, it's very powerful, huh? Alright, as a last resort. Man, it doesn't want to dice either, it's so woody. I don't know about using this woody... Oh, maybe I'm just going to put that in, actually. This is going to be good enough for now. Here goes. So now that I finally got as much ginger in there as I have the patience to get in there, I'm going to put it on the stovetop and heat it all up to a boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Funny observation I've had while filming this episode is Mischief, who's lying at my feet right now, is used to me talking to her all the time, and she understands most of what I say. And right now I'm talking to the camera and she doesn't understand that, and she keeps thinking, what are we doing? Why are you saying this? And she keeps cocking her head and stuff to listen, and it's just really precious. There's not much liquid in there, but I'm still gonna let it get to a boil. Oh my gosh, it's already coming to a boil.
What's that? Oh, honey.
I'm sorry this is boring. It's definitely boiling now, so I'm gonna reduce the heat. And interesting, it's getting more liquid, I think, as it's cooking out of the plums. And let it simmer for about 20 minutes.
Right. She says this is still boring. Is it still boring for you, my love? I'm sorry, Pumpkin.
She loves it when I bake because she gets to lick the butter wrappers. Huh. Yeah. I know there's no butter right now, huh? I'm sorry, my love. I'm so sorry. Missy says it's now at a simmer. The plum sauce is simmering away behind me. It's almost done and ready. But next, I'm going to use an immersion blender to make sure the consistency is really smooth and sauce-like. So this has been simmering for about 25 minutes, and it really has reduced and thickened on its own. I just turned off the heat. Looks and smells really delicious.
My guess is you're gonna tell me the immersion blender's illegal, huh? Is it gonna be illegal? Yeah. Is it gonna need to get reprimanded?
Alright, let's find out. I'm sure this is gonna be illegal. It's okay. That's our girl. That looks really good. It pureed up really nicely. Beautiful color. The plum sauce is ready and it looks and smells delicious. Now, of course, the question is, what do you do with it if you've made more than you're going to eat tonight? Kind of ironically the same problem of having a windfall of plums. Well, one thing you can do to preserve it is can it, and this recipe says it's safe for a water bath canning method. And I considered that, but given that this pint jar is the smallest canning jar I have right now, I decided against it because once we open this, then I'll either have to scoop the contents out and freeze them, whatever we don't use when we open it for a meal, or we'll have to eat it all, within a week or two, which I feel like is unlikely. So instead what I'm going to do is portion out some for us to use with our dinner tonight, and then portion out the rest into, I cringe because I don't like using them, but Ziploc freezer safe bags. And the reason I don't like using them is because they are single-use plastic items. I try to use reusable bags whenever possible. Not only is it better for the environment, but it also is better for the pocketbook, so why not do it? Also, it's more authentic to being a hobbit. Hobbits are not plastic. It is so red, and it's been thickening up a little bit as it's been cooling, and my guess is that's from the pectin setting up a little bit, the pectin in the peels of the plums. But if you wanted a runnier sauce, you can add some water to make it more liquid. So I'm going to just scoop some out and put into this glass container for us to have with our dinner tonight. And this should also give me a good idea of how much our family's actually going to eat of it. That looks like it plenty. It is a sauce after all. Instead of those plums decomposing, we get to have them with 5 meals. Thank you so much for joining me and Mischief. And if you feel inspired to try this recipe at home, know that you can get plums from a lot of different places, including your local farmers markets and of course grocery stores, but ask around. You may find out that you have a friend who also has a plum tree with a windfall of plums. And it's just a wonderful way to use up plums that otherwise would have just rotted, and it's just reducing food waste all around, because even the yucky bits that we had that I can't feed our chickens, I'm gonna give to our worm bin. And the little bits of ginger that I grated, I'm gonna give to our hens as well. So it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I'm living like a hobbit in true friendship with the earth. Mischief and I hope that you've enjoyed this episode and that you feel inspired to try making some plum sauce on your own. And if you do, please be sure to send us a picture and let us know how it went. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and even more importantly, share it with a friend. So, me and Missy Bean hope that you are now a very happy hobbit.
What, Missy? What's going on in the kitchen, Missy?
What's in my hand? Oh, Missy.
Hey, good job! Good job, Missy, you did great! You did, yeah! You did so great! As always!
Biggie.
Well, I'm glad.
How do you feel now that the plums didn't get wasted? Even though the birdies were naughty? Were they still naughty birdies? Yeah?
Oh, Missy, you should feel very proud of yourself. Yes, you do such a good job keeping us all safe. I shouldn't have plugged it in before I started filming. Oops. Shh, no, we're doing quiet time for the moment. And also, guess what? You get a cookie. Yes, you good girl, you get a cookie. Oh, Missy Muffin.
Here, Missy going up here. What you got your little birthday beer? Send your little birthday beer. Come get your little birthday beer. Here he is. He's up on the couch. Do you want to come up on the couch? There you are. There you are. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Come be in the video.
Oh, you got your fuzzy guy.
Fuzzy guy, this is your fuzzy guy. One sec.
Mischief and I hope that...
There's a beep.
What are you talking about? Yeah.